Big Trombone Escape by John Lurie, and that was from his soundtrack to the 1997 film Excess Baggage. This coming hour I'll be focusing on John Lurie, saxophonist, harmonica player, singer, composer, actor, TV star and a painter. And John Lurie seems to have just about done everything. In 2021 he even published his memoir, a real page turner, fantastic book called The History of Bones. My name is Benjamin Herman. I'm a saxophone player from Amsterdam and I make records and have been working for Dutch National Radio for the past 15 years or so. You're listening to Beeswax here on One Jazz. John Lurie, he was one of the most visible and influential musicians in the 80s and 90s, a huge inspiration for loads of young misfits back in the day. Headstrong, stubborn and completely in sync with the spirit of the times, he arrived in Manhattan in the 1970s and was almost immediately embraced by the downtown scene as one of its coolest new young upstarts, a real mover and a shaker. His band, the Lounge Lizards, broke through worldwide partly thanks to Jim Jarmusch's 1986 movie Down by Law, in which John Lurie gives a brilliant performance as an escaped convict alongside Tom Waits and Roberto Benigni. He also wrote the soundtrack for that film, Down by Law, and for about 20 other films as well. Lurie's saxophone style is kind of difficult to pin down. He doesn't really sound like anyone. It's always unmistakably John Lurie, just like his whole persona. A lot of the stuff I'm going to play is pretty short this hour, so I'm going to start with a few in a row. First off, music for the end credits from Down by Law. Then I'll move on to his singing alter ego Marvin Pontiac with You Are Going to Miss Me from the 2017 album The Asylum tapes, and then Bob the Bob by the Lounge Lizards from their 1988 album Voice of Chunk. The Lounge Lizards, co-founded with his brother pianist Evan Lurie, and featuring a revolving cast of amazing musicians like Mark Ribot, David Tronzo and John Medeski. They were one of the coolest bands on the planet throughout the 1980s, toured all over the world for about 15 years and built a devoted following. More about them later. First, end titles from Down by Law.
You know why? Because I'm cute. I don't wanna miss me. You know why? Because I'm cute. Cute. I am fucking adorable. Jesus.
Bob the Bob by the Lounge Lizards. Let's go back for a moment to their self-titled debut album from 1981. It's a fantastic record, and at the time it must have felt like a real breath of fresh air on the New York jazz scene, which, as always, was full of incredible musicians, virtuosos, and thousands of saxophone prodigies. And John Lurie wasn't really in for any of that. In his memoir, he writes about fellow downtown saxophone hero James Chance, who mixed punk, funk, and disco in his own unique way. I had learned something from James Chance and the Contortions that had freed me up a bit. The undercurrent roar of wild dissonance by part of the band helped it escape the drudgery of what jazz had become. The word jazz had become synonymous with boring, according to John Lurie. And boring is one thing the Lounge Lizards definitely weren't. They were completely their own thing, post-punks with style and their music was anything but conventional. The art world absolutely embraced them. They adored them, and as Lurie recalls in his book, there was lounge lizards madness. Lines would go around the block with people scrambling to get tickets. Andy Warhol would be in the front row. And I have to admit, I'm a huge fan myself. This is Demented by the Lounge Lizards.
So I run into these friends of mine. They're not really friends. They're just these guys I know. And I just don't like the way they're acting. I just feel like they're not being very soulful somehow, you know? And they're making fun of Barney. And they're talking about this girl's ass and that girl's something else. And I just don't really feel like in the mood to hear it. And so I walk on. I wanna know why. sky to see if there's some kind of an answer for me there. And I don't really know what to think. And I see a shooting star go flying across the sky, and I think to myself, I should make a wish. But it occurs to me that I don't know what to wish for. Wanna know why. I really wanna know why. Wanna know why. I really wanna know why. 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 Let's go. Take me now.
Vincent's Return, another track from the Excess Baggage soundtrack. Before that, you heard Wanna Wanna from the first Marvin Pontiac album. And Marvin Pontiac is Lurie's fictional African Jewish alter ego. Apparently, Lurie only really found his singing voice once he could hide behind another character. He'd sung occasionally before that, but occasionally. For example, on the soundtrack to his wonderfully odd TV series Fishing with John. And that series was made in 1991 and 1992, and the format is beautifully simple. John Lurie takes some of his famous friends fishing, and they hardly ever catch any fish. Willem Dafoe, Dennis Hopper, Matt Dillon, Jim Jarmusch, they all show up. It's funny, it's surreal, and unlike anything else on television, and I think all the episodes are on YouTube if you're interested. More recently, he's been making Painting with John for HBO. He paints in that series. He tells stories and reflects on life in his own special way. And here's some stuff from Fishing with John. In this episode, he heads to Jamaica with Tom Waits for a spot of fishing.
Fishing.
Or at least that's the idea.
With John. Fishing. With John. Fishing. With John. Out on the water fishing with John.
Fishers of men, fishers of men, up one side and back again along the river of men. Trusty bows are in our boat along a river of men. Sing with me, John. Along the river of men, along the river of men, up one side and back again along the river of men, of men.
Row!
Of men. He yells at the crew, they get nothing to eat along the river of men. Oh, it's up one side and back again along the river of men, men, of men, men, of men, along the river of men, along the river of men, along the river of men.
Flutter by the John Lurie National Orchestra. A great example of John Lurie's distinctive soprano saxophone sound. From what I gather, though, he's no longer playing the saxophone. He's been living with chronic Lyme disease for years and has also undergone treatment for throat cancer. He still paints, though. He lives on a small Caribbean island, occasionally posting on Instagram and other social media. His paintings are beautiful. They're weird, funny, and mysterious, and you can buy them online if you're into that. Now, Jim Jarmusch's 1986 film Stranger Than Paradise, which also features Lurie in an acting role and for which he also wrote the soundtrack. If you're into art house cinema and you've never seen Stranger Than Paradise, it's absolutely worth tracking down. The title of the next track is a playful twist on the jazz standard Stella by Starlight. This is called Bella by Barlight. And after that, we'll stay with Down by Law for a track with one of the greatest titles ever. What do you know about music? You're not a lawyer.
I have a hamburger in me.
Now I Am Happy by John Lurie, or rather by his alter ego Marvin Pontiac. And that featured guitarist Mark Ribot and bassist Tony Scher, two of his old mates from the Lounge Lizards. I don't know about you, but I've really enjoyed diving back into John Lurie's body of work. And I've almost forgotten how well known and how influential he was throughout the 80s and the 90s. That first Lounge Lizard album was incredible, and together with the success of Jim Jarmusch's films, he was really turned into an international cult star. He even got voted the world's most handsome man, I think by Avant Garde magazine in the 80s. As I mentioned earlier, his memoir is out and it's beautifully written. It's about music, of course, but also about sex and drugs and art and fame and survival and all the upsides and downsides that come with these kind of privileges. It's funny, it's sharp, and surprisingly moving. It's called The History of Bones, and it's available everywhere online. If you're even remotely interested in John Lurie or in the New York downtown scene of the 80s, it's highly recommended.
Hey, don't fuck with me. Hey, don't fuck with me. Don't come into my room like that.
That was one of the Lounge Lizards' biggest hits, a punk jazz version of the old standard Harlem Nocturne. One comment John Lurie says he never forgot was someone saying, "You guys have some nerve." And that's exactly what they sounded like. And they still do. Fearless, unconcerned with rules, and on a mission to piss off the jazz police. And that's what makes them so much fun. It was all part of that extraordinary downtown New York scene alongside bands and artists like Talking Heads, The Ramones, Blondie, Richard Hell, James Chance, and Defunct, who, by the way, whose founder, Joe Bowie, now lives here in the Netherlands. And he's in his 80s already. Anyway, John Lurie always does things in his own way. And this track is from the HBO series Painting with John. And that series aired for 3 seasons from 2021 to 2023. Probably if you go online, you'll be able to find it. It's well worth your time. This is called African Swim. This last track is from the 1992 Lounge Lizards album Live in Berlin, Volume 2. They were touring all over the world, and in his book he describes all kind of gigs all over the place. Also in Holland, because they came to the North Sea Jazz Festival, and sadly, in his book he says that it was one of the worst gigs he ever did. So just our luck here over in the Netherlands. This is pretty good though. Once again, from Berlin, Live in Berlin, 1992, the Lounge Lizards. I'll be back with you again next month. This is No Pain for Cakes.